Alright, let's talk about the newest indie addictive game on the Nintendo Switch. Except this isn't really a new game. So, you guys might have heard of Vampire Survivors. This is like one of the biggest games that released last year, believe it or not. Based off of just how much people were buzzing about this, talking about how amazing this game. Some people calling for Game of the Year. Yeah, Game of the Year, Vampire Survivors, over games like Elden Ring and God of War. Crazy. But I know looking at this game, it doesn't look like much. If you guys never heard of it, or if you guys never actually played Vampire Survivors, yeah, looking at it, it looks like a terrible game. It doesn't really look like anything too inventive or anything too crazy or too fun. But I'm here to tell you that you're wrong, because this game is tons of fun. Despite the way it looks, despite like the terrible art style, the gameplay is so solid and fun and overall just addictive. It's one of those games that you struggle to put down and you're always down to do more runs and more runs and more runs. The thing that makes it super fun is the fact that a run could last anywhere from like 1 minute if you make up all the wrong mistakes to like 10 minutes if you're doing everything right and you're running god tier status. Now, what is Vampire Survivor for you guys who don't know? The game is pretty simple, right? So you pick one of four characters. Each one has like a starting weapon, and then they all like fight slightly differently, which will change the way you want to maneuver the map. Now, when you're actually in the field and you're getting swarmed by tons of zombies, bats, vampires, whatever the heck, this is when the game gets really fun. So the game has like an auto attack feature where it'll automatically strike whatever's in front of you at a specific time. Now, your goal is just to walk around and avoid getting hit while killing as much enemies as you can. Every time you kill an enemy, they'll drop like a little diamond. Every time you grab those diamonds, it'll increase your level. Every time you get a chance to finally level up, you get an option to choose one of 3 different new skills or buffs that'll do things like give you another weapon or like make you stronger or faster. Whatever the hell, it'll change the way you play the game currently. Over time, you'll build up an arsenal of crazy weapons, from like fire wands and throwing axes everywhere and having garlic surrounding you. Whatever you get, it's just gonna like buff you out to the point where you can just start murdering things like crazy. Now, as you progress through time and through levels, the game will start getting crazy more difficult. Every left turn will be swarms of zombies, swarms of beasts, praying mantis. God knows what other kind of beasts roam around this world. But the game definitely gets crazy and you definitely start to feel overwhelmed very, very quickly. For me, I played this together with my wife, and that almost amplified the crazy because we had a shared screen. The screen would only get smaller and would sometimes lose each other, not knowing when someone died, when someone didn't die, and we just running around like crazy trying to kill everything and trying to come up with different game plans. Eventually, we learned to communicate better. We learned to say, okay, we're going to start running towards the left, we're going to start running towards the right. Whatever the case, it definitely amplified not just the crazy, but the fun. Together, me and her were slashing zombies, slashing bats, and just killing everything in our way, and it just made for a hell of a time. Something like I highly recommend for everyone. If you've never played Vampire Survivors before for whatever reason, maybe you didn't want to check it out on mobile because playing games on mobile is kind of weird for some of us. Maybe you don't have a PC or any kind of access to Steam. Whatever the case, if you have a Nintendo Switch and you haven't played Vampire Survivors yet, I highly recommend this game to literally everybody. The skill ceiling for this game is very, very high, but the skill requirement to get in is very, very low. So again, anyone can play this game, anyone can give it a shot, and it's one of those games that rewards you for just playing the game almost instantly. It has that instant gratification, that dopium straight to your brain kind of attitude type of game, and again, I can't recommend it enough. This is just a quick review of Vampire Survivors because, I mean, there's not really much to the game except for the fact that it's fun as all heck. Now, with all that being said, I'm going to leave it with that. Like the video if you guys liked the video. Please consider subscribing, as it does help us out tons. And with that, I'll see you guys on the next video.